through this review. I'm going to come someplace and sit amongst you, if that's okay, as long as this thing keeps picking me up. I'm going to sit over here on the far side. Is that okay? Can I sit adjacent to you, Nick?
Yeah.
The table next to you, not the seat next to you. Thank you. All right. Good to see you all. Sorry for the slight disruption in our classes, but yeah, there's a lot of water. It's always fun when I'm the one to discover it, and I call the district people, and they pull up the cameras and are like, oh my gosh. All right, so let's take a look at problem number 1. Remember, I said you could use those sheets from yesterday as well on the test, the white sheets that I gave you. So let's talk through this problem. Whatever we don't get through, I will make sure I have it, the rest of it recorded for tonight. Is that okay? All right. So we're taking a look at this problem. So let's think about some ideas that might be a good way to think about how to approach this problem. Should we all try and do it in our head?
No.
Unfortunately, some of you will. Let's take care of, like, what's going to happen with this grouping right here, for the most part. Can I drop the parentheses and just put the 4 next to the x squared? Am I raised to any exponent there? So these parentheses drop. So that first part's done. Do you feel comfortable with what we have written? Okay, this second part, though, is going to be a little bit different. Okay, this 3 comes here and this 3 comes here. So I get 3 squared and x squared. Okay, well, what's 3 squared? 9. Now, what can I do to finish this problem up? What do you think? Yeah, the 4 and 9 multiply, that gives me 36. What can I do with the x's? Yeah, I'm going to add them up. So x squared and x squared is x to the 4th. And then I get y to the 3rd. So that's my finished problem. So, friends, if you have... Hi, guys. We're just on this sheet. Do you still have this one?
Yes.
Cool. Don't know where he's at.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Friends, is there any questions about problem number 1 that you would need me to go deeper into for you? Do I have enough color up there for you? Is there enough to indicate the good thing and the bad thing? My friends, can I move to the next problem? Here, I'll just do this. I'll put number 2 right here. Sound like a plan? Now, I'm going to tell you that problem number 1 might be the same as or close to the same type of problem as like problem number 7. So you're going to have to sometimes seek around on the test, okay? But friends, what should I do with number 2? Is it a pretty straightforward problem, or is there a lot more work to do with it? Yeah, what's the only thing that has to take place?
Put the -4.
Yeah, that has to move down. So 5y squared are going to stay at the top. The x to the 4th moves down, and I'm going to put a little note. No longer negative exponent. Does that make sense? And that might be good notes to put for you because you don't want to put a negative sign. You might move it down, but if you put the negative sign, you might miss a point. You don't want to miss a point. How do we feel, my friends? All right? Everyone has one of these, yes? Like I didn't miss somebody? Okay. Can I move off this screen, or is anyone still writing anything down? Miller, are you okay? She's not listening to me. She got earbuds in. You good? All right, let's take a look at number 3. Number 3, I have 5, x to the 1st, y to the 6th, quantity squared. Okay? Talk to me about this problem first off. What should we do? Yeah, this 2, this outside 2, comes here. That gives me 5 squared. Comes here. That becomes x 1 times 2, and comes here, which is 6 times 2, which is 12. Okay? What's the last thing we should do to this problem? Yeah, 5 squared is what? Yeah, there you go. Well, hi.
Sorry.
Yeah, have a seat. You have the review sheet?
I believe so.
Good.
The signs at 4:37
All right.
when I walked in there.
Well, look for the right period. All right, number 4. Oh, they got a U in this one, huh? All right. Couple of things to think about. There's something I can do with the 2 and the 8. There's something that's going to take place with the x's. There's something going to take place with the y's, or the u's, excuse me. What's 2 over 8? 1/4. Okay, I'm going to just put a 1 right there. I don't know if I need it. It's okay if we leave it there. Tug of war with the x's. Who wins? Bottom by how many? 2. Tug of war with the u's. Who wins? Bottom by? Oh, so we did need that 1 up on top. Notice how I put that 1 up on top. I didn't know if I was going to need it or not. I mean, it's okay if you leave it, but don't just give me, I would think, a place that people might have no idea where it's at. No problem. I have no idea, or after this last train of thought. I would not have known that the 1 would have been there or not. If you leave the 1 there, you're totally fine. It's not incorrect. Friends, how do you feel about the first 4 problems? Do we feel okay?
Yeah.
And again, on the test, number 1, 2, 3, and 4 will not match up exactly with 1, 2, 3, 4 on the actual test. So you might have to look around a little bit. Like number 1 might go with number 7 on the test. Number 2 might go with number 12 or whatever. I'm just trying to make this up. I can't guarantee I'm saying that the right way. Not necessarily, but I mean, try and stick with the letters I gave you. All right. Can I go to number 5? Number 5. We have 4m to the 5th, m to the negative 5. This is the simplest problem to get goofed up on. Yeah. What's negative 5 and positive 5? So I'm going to do this 2 ways. I could add these together, which is going to give me 4m to the 0, which is m to the 0 is equal to 1, so I'm going to get 4 times 1, which is 4. Or you could do it this way. And you choose the way that works best for you. You realize this could move down. Tug of war, who wins? Neither. They just cancel out, so I get a 4. So which way you want to do it, I don't care. They're both going to take you the same thought, and I love that you see different ways to do it, and that's going to be the right answer. Do you see how that's the simplest, easy problem to make a mistake on? It's kind of goofy. Questions for me? Friends, may I move on? We good? Dan, you good? Number 6. I have 3 v to the negative 7. What's going to move? Yeah, the v to the negative 7. So that's the only thing that's going to go bye-bye. This is going to move. Okay, does the 3 switch? No. Okay, the reason the 3 doesn't switch is it's just a regular 3. So my answer is going to be 3v to the 7th. No longer negative. Okay? Notice I put a little note there. Maybe you put the little note there as well, because that might take place. That might help you not make a little silly error where you're missing 1 point. All right, number 7 I could squeeze down here. Number 7, I got x squared, x to the negative 4, And it's all raised to the fourth power. Where do you want to start this one? Like get the 4, take care of the 4? I like it.
4 times.
Yeah, I like it. So if I multiply here, that gives me x to the 8th. If I go there, that's going to give me x to the negative 16. What should happen with that bottom? Yeah, this is going to move up, right? Okay, when I move it up, it's going to have a positive exponent. So I have x to the 8th that stayed up top, and then x to the 16th. And then what's the last thing that you don't want to forget to do? Yeah, you're going to add 8 and 16 together. I think that's 24. There's my answer. Okay. Now, there's certainly other ways we could have done that problem. We could have moved the x to the minus 4 up. We could have combined it with the x squared. I mean, there's all kinds of ways we could have done this. You pick the pathway that's going to work best for you.
Man, this is like a gathering.
It is. Yeah, I know.
I would love to have my classroom. My academic support classroom.
Could you imagine if I had our room like this with the
Oh.
2 boards going?
It would be sick. That'd be awesome. This is awesome. Like, this is a huge room. It's like wonderful.
It is. It's great.
It's one, like, this is like a teacher's dream. Really? When you have a small classroom with a ton of kids and you barely can fit desks in there, sucks.
All right, this one's a very simple problem that you might make a mistake on. What are we thinking that should take place? Yeah. Yeah. So this right here, this means the whole thing wants to move. So I'm going to go 1 over y to the 5th. This is no longer negative. And then I'll put another note. Don't forget 1 as placeholder. Okay? Is everybody happy? We're doing pretty good. Am I going too fast? Hey, 100 million trillion bonus points for the person who answers this problem first. Okay, I owe some money. It's 1. This is the easy one. Now again, don't be that kid because you're going to have one of these on the test. Don't be the kid who puts 1 for every answer going, but I got that one right. Okay, there, sunshine. Okay, so because that means the whole quantity becomes 1. And that's just the simple answer. It's done. Again, we only had one person who missed that between the 2 classes. In years past, it was like half the kids would miss it. And I'm like, dude. Okay. Friends, we okay? And again, this is not in the exact order that the test is. Agree? But it's close. Okay, so you just have to match up. Moving on. Number 10. 3c to the 4th times 4c to the 5th times c to the 2nd. Thoughts? Okay, so 3 times 4 is 12. And then what do I do with the c's? These all get added. So 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. Done. That might be an okay note to have. Be sure if you have like bases that are being multiplied, you add the exponent. I mean, that looks like a complex problem that kind of like fizzles down to something manageable. Ooh. Remind me. I need to make sure I snag the calculators out of the Great Flood. Huh? Well, they're in a bucket. The water's only on the floor. I mean, it didn't fill, the room wasn't full of water. If it was, I would have been swimming around going, woohoo!
And I think all of us would have been swimming on that floor.
All the what?
The water.
Oh. I don't have nothing
All right. So this might be an easy problem to someone to say, oh, I'm just going to try and do it all in my head. And good for you. Hopefully you don't miss this. Why did I highlight that?
Put it at the bottom.
It's going to move. It's going to move. Okay? So the y squared staying up on top. The x to the fourth was already down there. The y to the seventh was already down there. And it's joined by the friend, the x to the fifth clan. All right, what should I do? Can I do tug of war with the y's? Yeah, if I do tug of war with the y's, who wins?
Bottom.
Bottom by how many?
5.
5.
And then you add.
And then I'm going to add those. And that's going to give me x to the ninth. Should I just leave it blank over x to the ninth? Yeah, make sure you're at a 1. Okay.
I did the same thing for the first part, then I combined the x's. Then I did the word y. X to the ninth, y to the-
X to the ninth is fine. Do you have y to the fifth next to it? Both on bottom?
I just had it as that.
Oh, now make sure you have a 1 as a placeholder. If everything moves or it all cancels, you make sure you have a 1 on top. If on bottom, if everything cancels, that's okay. Can I move on?
Yeah.
Hold on. How are we on attendance?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, good. Ready? Cool. Number 10, or number 12. 12, right?
Yeah.
All right. Talk to me, friends. What does it look like? Yeah, multiply right there. So what's 4 times 5? Hey, why did the 2 not get raised to the 5th power?
You don't change the base.
Don't change the base, but it's also not in the parentheses, right?
Yeah.
You just bring that down,
Yeah.
which is nice.
So maybe put a little note. This did not change.
And it's kind of like the opposite thinking too, because usually like, at the beginning of the semester, we would multiply that too into the parentheses, right? Not with exponents. So it's kind of that rewiring thinking.
What are you saying?
Rewiring thinking.
Gotcha.
Say that 3 times.
All right. So I'm going to put a couple notes here. That is -7, not a negative exponent. So does it move?
No.
So it won't move. Okay? All right, so I have -7, x to the 5th. That moves, yes? That heads downstairs. Put a little note. Okay, does that make sense? Do you all understand why it's still a -7? We dealt with negative numbers for a long, long time, so it's going to stay a negative number. I heard if it keeps raining up until 11 o'clock, they're going to cancel the rest of school.
Don't say that. Don't get my hopes up.
Oh, please don't get my.
Okay, because I already had to deal with the tornado drill yesterday and keeping kids until 4:30.
That was fun.
Don't trigger me.
When they said 7, I was like, oh, hell no. 7 for a minute.
Don't trigger me like that. Stir up.
I'm sorry. All right, last one on the front page. We good? Ready? Shh. Here we go. Shh, 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 shh. Ready? This is going to come here. Agree?
Yeah.
This is going to come here. Agree?
Yeah.
This is going to come here. Now, being you got calculators, even if you didn't know how to do 4 to the third, 4 to the third is 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. X to the 21st stays as is. And then 3 to the third, if you don't know it, it's just 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. Done. Hey, we got done with the front side. Yeehaw. Dude, we might get done. We might get done. That means you don't have to watch my video tonight, only if you want to.
You're stressed out about this test. I will.
You know, I have found that I've cried myself to sleep this whole week.
Come on.
It's like, Stirp, you serious? Yeah, but it's good for you to cry yourself to sleep. It's not funny. I still do. Okay.
I did cry last night.
You were watching what? Oh, I got a good show I got to tell you about.
Okay. All right, let's refocus because Miss Stone is not focusing.
Hey, we're almost done. We're almost done. Now I'm going to put a couple notes. Okay? So notice how this one is. This means decimal goes right because it's positive. Does that make sense? So ready? We're going to count. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my answer. Oh, a visitor. Do you know where Mr. Boyce is? He's hiding. All right. So if that one goes right, what does this one do? Decimal goes. What's up, Shave? What is that? Thanks, brother.
Aw.
Love you, man.
Happy senior.
See you, bub. Decimal goes left because it's negative. Now, friends, how did I do this yesterday before I moved anything? How did I do this problem before I did anything? Yeah, I did a whole bunch of zeros. Okay, so I'm going to go decimal left. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 0.0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 2, 4. Okay, notice what I did. I made a bunch of zeros before I moved anything. Trust me, friends, it makes it easier, especially when you're trying to go like these little things. Going, where do I put the 0? Put the zeros in first. It's going to move a lot easier for you. Do we feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Can I move on?
Yeah.
Yeah? No? This is optional. Okay? Ready for Eddie, Betty, and Eddie?
Yeah.
Like, none of those people are in our class, Drew. I know. Number 18. Oh, crud. My eyes are messing with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm counting 7 zeros. Is that about right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We want to put these in scientific notation. So things I'm going to know just by looking at this. This will have a positive exponent. Okay? So So I'm going to write it as 1.23 times 10. So it's going to be a positive exponent. My exponent's right here. We're going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Positive exponent there. So if that one's a positive exponent, what will this one be? This would be a negative exponent. Negative exponent means you're dealing with a really tiny decimal. So I'm going to go 7.1 times 10. We're going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Notice the negative exponent. You don't want to miss a silly point on that. Everybody and their cousin, hey, wait, who's here? Number 19. Okay, so first off, is this written incorrectly as far as scientific notation goes? Yeah, it doesn't, it mean we could still work it out. It's just, it's real sloppy. So this means decimal right 5 spots. Okay, so I have this, 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 this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's a sloppy problem. It's okay. For problem number 20, you get to skip it. On test, I'll have to tell you which problem it is to skip, but you can skip number 20. Okay, it's not hard to do. You go 1 times 3, which is 3, add the exponent, so 3 times 10 to the negative 2, but don't worry, I'm not going to put it on there for you. It gets more complex when it's there. Don't worry about it.
Is the answer 0.00002?
It's 3 times 10 to the negative 2, so 0.003, I guess, yeah. All right, finally to the graphing. Finally to the graphing. Y equals 2 to the x. So I'm going to make myself a little graph. Okay, what's the first thing we do when we have our graph, when we look at this problem? Asymptote. So I don't have a number added to it or subtracted to it, so what do? Plus 0. That means this is my asymptote. Okay? So you notice where it says horizontal asymptote? The horizontal asymptote, you can just say it's 0. Okay? Do you see where the 0 came from? Okay. We don't know if it's growth or decay yet. So what am I going to plug in? 1 or 0 comma blank and 1 comma blank. Okay? Later in classes, not this year, but later in classes, you will see how to do it a little bit differently. But this is 2 to the 0, and 2 to the 0 is?
1.
Okay, so I get 0, 1, which is here. And then I'm going to plug 1 in, so I get 2 to the first, which is?
2.
Then I get 1 comma 2. Growth or decay? It's growth. It doesn't, so you have to circle growth. Notice what it's missing. Domain and range. Sorry, I'm not going to put that on the test. Cool. Questions on that? May I move on?
Yeah.
Good? Dan, you good? Giddy up. All right, number 22. We have y equals 1/3 in parentheses raised to the x. Okay, I'm going to have my graph. Do I have a number added or subtracted? So I have to add a what?
0.
I have to add a 0. Okay, so my horizontal asymptote, just put 0. Okay, all right. I'm going to use what 2 points?
0, 1.
0 comma and 1 comma, right? And all I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1/3 raised to the 0. That is what? 1.
No, 1, yeah.
So 0, 1. So like right here. And then I'm going to plug 1 in. 1/3 raised to the first. 1/3. So 1 comma 1/3. It's like down here. So this is what? Growth or decay? Decay. As I go to the right, the graph goes to the asymptote. 2 problems left, dudes. That all right? Notice it doesn't say domain or range. We didn't feel we needed to test you on that, even though I taught it, and Stone taught it. Is that okay? I hope none of you are like, dude, my day is wrecked. It's raining outside. Domain and range don't matter on the test. What is this world coming to? All right. Y'all ready for number 23? Number 23. Here we go. Y equals 1/3 raised to the x plus 4.
They're horizontally 4.
Yeah, my horizontal is 4. This right here is going to give me at 1, 2, 3, 4. Being I did not have to add a 0, the asymptote moved itself up. Okay? So horizontal asymptote, 4. Cool. 0 comma blank. Oops. Excuse me. And 1 comma blank. All right, ready? 1/3 raised to the 0 plus 4. What's 1/3 to the 0? 1. What's 1 plus 4? 5. So 0 comma 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's that point. Let's plug 1 in. So I got 1/3 to the first plus 4. What's 1/3 to the first?
1/3.
1/3 plus 4?
Oh,
4 and 1/3. So at 1 comma 4 and 1/3, like right there. You just kind of estimate it. You know it's below 5 and above 4. Growth or decay? Decay. As I go right, it's going to the asymptote. Okay? Oh, 1 comma 4 and a third things. Forgot to put it. Friends, last problem. You ready? Everybody happy?
no.
All right, problem number 24. Giddy up, saddle up and ride, partners. Do I have to add a 0?
No.
What do you think my horizontal asymptote's going to be?
7.
-7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. -7. Okay. All right. Horizontal asymptote. -7. Plug in 0 comma something and 1 comma something. All right. So I'm going to go 3 raised to the 0 minus 7. 3 to the 0 is? 1 minus 7? -6. So 0, -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right there. All right, let's plug 1 in. 3 to the first minus 7. 3 to the first? 3. 3 minus 7? -4. 1, -4. So 1, -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Growth or decay?
Growth.
My friends, this video will be posted. I will post the notes as well. I strongly, strongly, strongly encourage you to have some studying. Guys, you all are doing well on this stuff. Make sure you have available. If you need to add anything to that white sheet I gave you yesterday or this take-home sheet, do it. Bring it tomorrow.